There is a belief that quietly destroys millions of lives, the belief that the world owes you something. Maybe respect, maybe recognition, maybe opportunity, maybe fairness. And when those things don't arrive, people become frustrated, bitter, angry. They blame society. They blame circumstances. They blame other people. But eventually, reality presents a lesson that changes everything. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you understanding. Nobody owes you a better future. And strangely enough, the moment you accept that truth is often the moment your life begins to improve.
As children, we naturally assume that effort and reward are closely connected. We believe that if we do the right thing, the right outcome will follow. And sometimes it does. But adulthood introduces a more complicated reality. Good people are overlooked. Hard workers are ignored. Talented individuals are passed over. Life does not always distribute rewards according to effort. This realization feels unfair because it challenges the story we wanted to believe. Yet understanding this truth is the beginning of maturity, because mature people stop focusing on what should happen and start focusing on what they can control.
Many people waste years waiting for recognition. They wait for someone to notice their effort. They wait for someone to appreciate their sacrifice. They wait for someone to reward their loyalty. But the world is often too busy to notice. And that's why tying your motivation to recognition is dangerous, because your progress becomes dependent on factors you cannot control. The most effective people learn a different lesson. They learn to work without applause. They learn to improve without validation. They learn to continue even when nobody is watching. One of the biggest sources of suffering is expectation. We expect people to be grateful. We expect people to be fair. We expect people to understand our intentions. And when reality fails to meet those expectations, disappointment follows. The problem is not always reality. Often, the problem is the contract we created inside our minds, a contract that nobody else agreed to. We silently decide what people should do, then become angry when they fail to do it. Expectations create invisible debts that only exist in our imagination. The people who become strongest in life eventually stop negotiating with reality. They stop arguing with what is. They stop demanding guarantees. They stop expecting special treatment. Instead, they adapt. They take responsibility for their situation. They focus on solutions rather than fairness. This mindset appears harsh from the outside, but it creates freedom. Because once you stop expecting the world to carry you, you become capable of carrying yourself. Ironically, accepting that nobody owes you anything often improves your relationships. Why? Because gratitude replaces entitlement. You stop demanding appreciation and start appreciating what you receive. You stop expecting people to read your mind. You communicate clearly. You stop seeing kindness as a debt that must be repaid. And as a result, resentment begins to disappear. The less you expect from the world, the more you appreciate what it gives. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you fairness. Nobody owes you understanding. And while that truth may sound harsh, it contains a hidden gift. Because if nobody owes you anything, then your future is no longer waiting for permission. It belongs to you. The moment you stop expecting the world to give you what you want is often the moment you begin building it yourself. And that is where real power starts.